Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of World of Tanks with Tanks for the Mammeries. I've got two replays for you guys today. I've got the T-37 here on Redshire, and then we're going to have an artillery replay later on, so if you're interested in that, have a look. It is a High Caliber and Confederate artillery replay. It's a pretty good battle there, but right now we are in the T-37 and we are going to do some scouting on this map, Redshire, and it is a good it's a good scouting map, I think, frankly. And we're starting off here heading there's some artillery in this fight, so we're going to try and do as much scouting as we possibly can, and the idea is to head to this middle ridge here. And by the way, I do have a map at the end of each of these fights. I know you guys, some people have said that they enjoy those maps, and so I put some maps on the end of each fight to talk about kind of how I did and what I did and where I did it. So I'm going to go up here and get in these bushes. This tank does have a set of binoculars or periscopes or whatever they're called. So right now what I'm trying to do is just sort of scout out everybody that is moving both to the blimp on the enemy team as well as into the middle. Now they do have a wheeled vehicle scout, and you know, the wheeled vehicles, I've you know, you guys know my opinions on this. I've said it before. I think they shouldn't be in the game, but they are, and so you know, I'm going to have to deal with him a little later on. But right now my idea is just get in this bush and sit still, don't shoot anything, just kind of mark out enemies as I see them and as I know my artillery is looking around for things, and just trying to be kind of a pain in the ass right here in the middle. So chances are I am not going to be spotted here at this tier anyway, and I am picking up a tremendous amount of spotting. So as I see them, I mark them, and you can see that we've got pretty good responses from artillery here. This is a pretty good team. I gotta say, these guys did really well. So this is kind of where we're at, and it's, you know, I'm paying attention to the map and trying to kind of mark places on the map where I think somebody should be paying attention to, and that was one that artillery just decided to smack. So here is one of those wheeled vehicles. So he has come down, I guess he kind of snuck down that little riverbed there, the creek bed, and he's gonna spot me. I'm not, this bush isn't big enough for him not to spot me as soon as he crests this ridge, so I know I'm about to get spotted. I go ahead and kill him. Somebody had already smacked him pretty hard a couple of times, and so I knew I was going to get spotted, so I pulled out before the alarm went off, make a big circle, kind of let it go away. I'm going to stop here for a second, see if I can spot those guys on the ridge there. I don't have a shot. They're on the ridge, but they're below the ridge crest, so there's nothing I can do about that. But I am behind the bush, so they can't see me. So now that I am unlit, I'm going to pull right back into the same spot again, and here we go. We're already spotting. And if you noticed, I've turned my tank around, so I'm now facing my exit rather than having to back up and then turn around, whatever. I've pulled in to have my ass towards the enemy, which, you know, it isn't always great, but this allows me to just hit the W button and bail out the minute I get spotted. So I'm back in this position, nobody's seeing me, nobody's doing anything, and here's the Scorpion. So the Scorpion pops up, and I figure I'd go ahead and give him a shot. If I get spotted, I'll bail, but he was behind the building, and I didn't think he was going to be able to see me. There's me, the bushes I'm in, and then a tree in the way, so I figured it was probably a pretty good shot. Again, enemies getting spotted by me over there on that side. They're getting shot from the big ridge line over to my right, and things seem to be going pretty well. We're doing okay. I've been causing some good damage. That Scorpion is back. I'm not going to take the shot there. I'm going to let him get past the building, and then he's going to come back up again. And when he does, he's actually going to come up in a position where I can shoot him. Now, I know that when I do this, he will spot me this time. So, take the shot. There, I'm spotted. Now I got to get out. So, basically what I'm doing is just make another circle, a bigger circle this time. Make a slightly bigger circle than I did last time. And then once I'm not spotted anymore, I'm just going to come right back up and get right back in those bushes again. Now, at this point, the battle has really sort of moved on, and there's still a few things to spot. And there's that guy. Now, that French vehicle was there very early on. I tracked him, but I am spotted, so now I've got to make a move again. That guy was the one I really wanted people to kill because he's kind of clogging up my ability to move back towards their base. So take even bigger circle this time, get below the ridge line, make another big U-turn, come right back up, and then I'm going to go ahead and push from this point. So now I've decided the fight's almost over. We pretty much won. How much else can I do? I want to try and get some shots in, so I'm going to go ahead and cross the creek, get up there to where that other guy was at the very end there they were just shooting at, get around that rock and see if I can't do anything with it. And this is pretty much the end of the battle, so I'm not able to do a whole lot more here. I do see a couple of other guys, but they're behind the buildings down there, and rather than push in, I kind of wasted some time here seeing if that guy would back around the building, the artillery, if I could shoot him, and I'm not really able to do so. But anyway, this ended up being a pretty good fight. What I'll do is we'll get to the post-game stats here. Really not going to talk a whole lot about it, but as you can see, I ended up having a pretty good scouting mission in this tank. Even though I didn't do a whole lot of damage myself, I did a lot of spotting damage. So moving on into that, have a look at the post-game stats here. Definitely was a victory. Decent amount of spotting damage. Did pretty good on the team as far as that was concerned. Number one on the team for overall points there. Not damage, but overall points, and it was a victory. So really pleased with that one. That came out really well. This tank, I really do actually like this tank a lot. I like it better than the Chaffee. I think it looks cooler than the Chaffee does. I like those big bulbs that stick out both sides of the turret there. And it's a speedy little tank. It's got a decent gun for its size. Could it be better? Sure. It's really still a pretty tall tank, so it's not going to be the most stealthy tank on the planet, but it is pretty good. So really did enjoy that. That was a good little fight there on Redshire. Now we are going to be moving on to the next battle, which will be the GW Panther. But let's take a look at the map here where I kind of talk about what it was that I did. So I'm going to go ahead and put up the strat sketch map, and we'll take a look at that right now. So anyway, as you can see, we start out at our base on the north side of the map there. That's the green line. I head down, get behind that bush, start making some moves around the first spots, which include the guys coming across up to the blimp, as well as the guys over at the actual cap spot. That's in the first sort of red area there, and then I kill that scout and have to bail out. So the second bailout is going around the other side, and I pretty much stayed in the spot the whole time. So that was the end of that fight right there. Let's go ahead and move on into the artillery piece, and we'll get to talk about. Now, one thing I meant to mention here is if you look at the red arrows from that spot behind that bush or in that bush, you'll notice that I am able to see all the way to the gap where the cap was, and the spotting arc goes all the way down and around behind that little village there and over to the other side. So during the course of this fight, as I sat behind that bush and then took the orange line up to where that white X is, I was able to spot that entire arc right there. That was the offensive arc, and that's a really good bush. Just want to let you guys know that. So let's go ahead now, and we'll move on into the artillery piece at Pilsen. So let's move into that now. Okay, so here we are on Pilsen. I am in the GW Panther. I know a lot of people don't like this artillery, or don't like artillery in the game, period. But I just love this artillery piece. There are 3 artillery per side in this game. I'm in as I said, the GW Panther. I've got 940 something battles in this vehicle. I've only got a 51% win rate. I do have a mastery badge in it. I have one marked it, as you can see there on the barrel. This to me is just a really good artillery piece, and setting aside the whole thing about whether or not it should even be in the game, I think this one is a very good balance of decent mobility, decent damage, uh, good distance, relatively accurate, and a good splash. So I started heading over towards like the one line and realized the other two artillery pieces were sort of going that way. So rather than me do that, I spin around here, do a U-turn, and come back and head the other direction. So I'm just going to sit right off the back edge of the cap on sort of the 9-0 line side of things. Well, I'm not going to be on the 9-0 line. I'm going to be kind of right behind this building that's up here in front of me. But I'm sort of like almost in the middle of the map, and I feel like this place is going to give me an opportunity to be able to hit both the spoil piles on the south side of the map as well as some of the stuff in the middle there. So we're going to get our first shot off here. Not going to do a whole lot to it, but we're going to get the first shot off. This guy in the building there, give him a little stun, but that's about it. So, and at the end of this fight, by the way, guys, at the end of this fight, I will have a map on where my position was and where my strikes were. So, you know, I do have a pretty good vehicle destroyed to killed ratio in this. I've got a 2.04 vehicles destroyed for every time I get killed, and that's an enviable record for any vehicle in this game, much less artillery piece. I think it's probably a little easier in artillery than it is in other vehicles. There's not much of a gap here. Had I moved a little further towards like the 9-0 line, I probably could have had a little bit more gap right there. And maybe I should have moved a little further, but you know, nevertheless, this is kind of a hard area to hit anyway. We do get a couple of shots off there. I spent a little bit of time, I probably spent too much time looking around with waving my barrel around as opposed to fixating my barrel in one spot like this and then right clicking the mouse and moving around to look at other stuff. I probably should have done that a little bit more. It was pretty late that night, and I think I had a little bit to drink. But anyway, so, you know, I really like this artillery piece. I've got a Gores medal in it, which is, Gores medal is pretty hard to get. It's where you do 8 times your own hit points in damage to enemy vehicles. Like I said, I've got a mastery badge on it. I've 1 marked it. I really need to try and 2 and 3 mark this vehicle here. You know, it's not like the T-37. The T-37, I really don't have a lot of battles in it. I've only got like 23 battles or so in the T-37. I've got a decent win rate in it, but no mastery badge. So the T-37 is something else I'm probably going to want to pay some more attention to. I'm going to get a good shot on this guy right here. That was a good hit. Good anticipation on him, and gave my team the opportunity to kill that guy. Yeah, so the T-37, not a lot of fights in it, don't have a great crew in it, but it's one of those that I probably should spend more time with. Obviously, I've got way more battles at 900 something battles in this artillery piece than I do in that light tank, but artillery is a difficult. See, I just missed that. I was trying to thread the needle there in that gap, and I didn't get it. So this guy right here, this fat ass TD, is hiding behind this little thin concrete post that's holding those pipes up between those 2 factories. And yeah, it's not really gonna work. It's like a kid who tries to hide behind the curtains when they get in trouble. So anyway, I whack him. Our other artillery's gonna whack him. Tank's gonna whack him. Everybody's gonna fucking whack this guy. So yeah, that's gonna. He's not gonna make it along there. I don't know why he didn't move. I don't know if he just like AFK'd or went to the bathroom or who knows what. But anyway, so here's the other thing I don't understand about this map. In a lot of maps, a lot of buildings are destructible. In this map, these buildings are not destructible, and I don't know why. Now, so I'm going to show, if you look at the upper left-hand corner of my screen up there at the top, the damage done. At the end of this thing, I'm going to show about 2,000 damage done. That shot that I just took right there actually did damage. And obviously, because the enemy wasn't lit, we can't tell. I think that shot did damage as well. That one may not have, but I'm going to have over 600 damage done, or right about 600 damage done, unspotted for some of those blind fires. So, you know, I'm a big fan of blind firing. I know other people I play with are a big fan of blind firing. I know Sofaline is a big fan of it. Artillery is one of those where, if you can do it, if you know there's somebody that was spotted there a little bit ago and they're not spotted anymore, just lob a shell up there to them, see what happens. Because, you could get, 600 damage is a reasonable amount of damage. That's like 2 hits worth. So, now this guy right here, this Chi-Ri or whatever he is, Chi-Nu, Chi-Ri, he's going to come back. I'm not loaded up yet. I'm going to go ahead and sit there because I know he's going to come back. And I figure, well, he's gone into that bush. This may be another one of those blind fires where I actually get some damage on him. I don't think I do because I think when I see him come back around again here in a minute, he's still full health. But, sometimes doing something like that lets him know that you've been paying attention to him. But it's always worth it, I think. It's, so long as you are not going to waste a shell that you need within the next 10 seconds or so. Like if a scout's coming to your place where you're hiding and you're going to need to be able to try and shotgun that scout. If you're not in that sort of situation because you're map aware and you're paying attention to what's going on the map, then blind firing is fine. Might as well do it. So I'm reloaded now. Going to go ahead and take the shot because I know that guy was there, maybe back around the corner or something. And of course, that one I wasted because that's when all these guys got spotted up here, and I really probably could have put something hard into these guys up there. So, there I am talking for 10 minutes about fucking blind firing, and then all of a sudden, all those guys get spotted at that bottom corner of the map there. But artillery shows up, take the shot on him. Our other artillery takes a hit on that guy, and we ended up putting one into him as well. So now I know that there's 3 people up on that hill, but there's this guy right here, and he is broadside on. This guy is broadside on. So I'm just trying to lead him a little bit on where he's going to go next while that shell takes about 4 seconds to get there. And he's not really moving all that much, so we put a good smack into him there. A little bit too far forward. But our IS-2 or whatever he is has done a good job lighting that guy up. That guy's still sitting there up on the hill. I know there's 3 people on there. I guess one of them's dead, but there's still a couple of guys up on that hill. So, like to be able to put some into them as well. Still watching the map, though. That guy's not lit. This guy, is he going to get lit again? Where do I shoot? It's a lot of anticipation. That's what makes a really good artillery player is, anticipating where you expect someone to show up. And then putting a shot out. That was going to hit him as well. That was pretty good. Now, our tank that's sitting down there is getting hit from across the map. He's getting hit from somebody over there, like in... I think it's a little British thing, one of those little British tanks. And there's not a whole lot I can do for him. He's finally faced his tank forward, so that guy right there, we're going to try and put a shot in on this guy. Just because I need my guy to continue spotting that M6 or whatever he is. Well, so he's dead, so our guy's okay. So now we're back to spotting this broadside tank right here in the back of the spoils pile. Trying to let my guy know, because he's flashing the SOS, trying to let him know that I am aimed there and I am ready for him to pop around and spot that guy. And it's, I'm not sure he's going to back into him around from the other side or what the plan is, but I am just going to sit right here. And now he's giving me the SOS. I'm like, dude, I'm ready. I am so ready for you. And there's the bad guy. So, can we hit this guy again? Give him a shot. Should be good to go. Well, not quite. If he hadn't stopped, I probably would have killed him. Anyway, so it's pretty much the end of the match now. There's like, what, 2 guys left? So, 1 guy left. Just got to figure out where that guy is. He's actually not there. He's just sort of up and to the left a little bit. And I want to try and get to where I can do a little better shooting. Get over that building and get up in that corner there without getting anything blocking my way. Yeah, I really do like this artillery piece. It's a good gun, good fighting. Oh, he's going to turn. I missed him. I hate the stun thing. So there's just a couple of guys left here. And trying to anticipate him. Reload, reload, reload. Please, please, please. I wish they reload a little faster than they do. Will I get him? That was a good hit. But our team's going to come up behind that guy and kill him. So there's one guy up in the woods there. This guy's dead. So I'm going to move up to the guy in the woods, try and put a shot into him. Our other artillery piece is going to hit this guy as well. And so, you know, again, he disappears, but that's where he is. Going to blind fire that spot because there's not a lot left in this game. I think that was my shot there, and that was the other guy's shot, and he is a dead man. So, anyway, pretty good fight there. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I guess he's still gonna be alive there. Did we not kill that guy? We cap it out, right? Anyway, so I hope you guys enjoyed this. I've got the map for this one coming up as well, and I mean, there's not a lot to it, just because obviously I don't move in this fight, but I do mark sort of the location I was at and the impact areas that I was able to reach from that spot. Anyway, so this is a pretty good fight. Again, mastery badge on this one. I got High Caliber and I got the Confederate for it. And High Caliber, Mister. Compared to the rest of my team, I did pretty good. About 1,000 damage more than anybody else on the team. So really felt like I contributed there to them. And yeah, so that's pretty much it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed these battles, and I hope you like and subscribe, and I will be putting some more stuff. I'm supposed to actually, it's Saturday night while I'm recording this, I'm supposed to be playing with Living Rush tonight, but he's not feeling well, so he asked to bail out tonight. I hope he feels better soon, and we will try and pick it up maybe later this week. But I wanted to get a couple of videos out for you guys just so, you know, you'd have something to watch. And for those people who are fans of artillery, I hope you enjoyed this fight. For those of you who are not fans of artillery, I hope you watch this fight and know where to go and not go when somebody like me is on the other team. Know your enemy, right? So anyway, that's it for today. Thanks very much for watching, everybody. I really do appreciate it. I hope that you guys will check out some of my other videos, and I look forward to putting more stuff up in 2020. Everybody have a great night. Thanks very much. This is Tanks for the Mammeries. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will catch you guys next time. 271 and the T-37 track for 280. That's good. That's a good fight. Team score. 26-62, 19 shots fired, 5 direct hits, 16 splash damage. So 16 out of 19, that's pretty fucking good. Total damage 2600. Stun duration, damage stunned by you 1453. That's very good. That is very, very good. I didn't make much because I fired some expensive shells, but I will take that. I'll take every bit of that. That's a good fight. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.